Hello everyone, welcome back to a new Flesh and Blood video. Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 decks in the meta to play and pick up at the end of the year, December 2024. Let's get right into it. So, we're going to start off with the elephant in the room. I'm just going to put it out there, we're not going to wait around for it, it's just Enigma. This is Michael Feng's list, the Calling Portland, he came first place. I feel like everyone's seen this list by now, it was pretty big. It was pretty cool to see him just completely destroy new in the finals. As a new player, I was a little bit sad, but not really, because I don't have to see those LL points go on my hero. But yeah, play Enigma if you would like to win. I've become a little bit more hesitant with Enigma. Not hesitant, but like, she's not completely perfect, because not a single one made top 8 at the Calling in Kuala Lumpur. And it just made me think, oh, Michael Feng was at that. I assume he was playing a similar list. He didn't make top 8. And obviously, every tournament's different. Hero's going to do better at some tournaments, worse at some tournaments. The meta was different. It was a very aggro meta. Enigma struggles into that. But my question is, if that continues throughout other events, where these aggro decks are just going to be so prominent, such as Viserai, Aurora, in such high quantities, is Enigma going to be able to as well? And Enigma, honestly, favored into Nu, but Nu can win, honestly, and the Nu's figured out the matchup. I feel like I figured out the matchup. I often, as a new player, I am able to beat Enigma, like, consistently. Like, it seems like they have to have a really big high roll, set up a massive board in one turn to actually beat me, and that's a big problem, because Nu's supposed to be like one of those big free matchups, but it's just not. Nu doesn't even have to high roll to beat Enigma at this point. I think with Vambrace being able to just clear an entire board of ward, it's super good. Enigma is still favored, but I just think because of that, just all the decks being so prominent that she struggles into, she has such a high ceiling, and that's what puts her in the top 5 deck. But she doesn't come without her flaws, and I just wanted to make that clear, like, immediately. She's not flawless, and yeah, so don't think by pick up Enigma, you're going to go, I'm playing it, well, I just won the Calling, oh, let's go. What's next? The Pro Tour? Is not that easy, but she is still incredibly strong, still at 100% of top 5 deck without, like, a second thought, but she's not flawless like some people seem to think she is. So yeah, that's my take on Enigma. We'll just move straight on from that. Straight on to Zen. So Zen won Kuala Lumpur. Nick Butcher, player from Australia, who I've played against a couple times and lost every single time. He's a really good player. Super good to see him win a Calling. That was awesome, because when he won the Singapore Calling all the way back in, I think it was 2022, I didn't get to see that. I wasn't playing the game, so it was really cool to watch him live win the Calling on Zen. We don't have his list. It's not out yet, unfortunately. Hopefully out soon, but until then, we'll just use Jude's list from the Portland Calling, which top forward lost to... was it to Enigma? No, I think it was to Nu. I think he lost to Nu. And yeah, I think this is a very strong list. If I was getting into Zen, I'd be looking at probably picking up the list run by Nick Butcher. I mean, I assume it's pretty similar. Like, I don't think he had any standout cards that were like, wow, he's running this. What a strange piece of tech. I don't think it was like that. I think it's a pretty stock list. Just from what I've heard, I don't know for sure. Maybe he's running some really weird lists, but while I was watching it, it wasn't anything like crazy. Zen is incredibly strong. He's not okay. At the moment, I think he's in the best place he's been in terms of playability. Obviously not since he was broken when he was first released, best hero in all of Flesh and Blood. But he is incredibly strong, and I definitely recommend picking him up right now. The problem I see with him, as I'd like to do a pros and cons of each hero. He's incredibly strong. He's a Misfail hero, guys. That means you can play him. If he's from Misfail, it means you can play him. So just keep that in mind if you're ever looking to pick up a hero. You'll notice how our last one's a Misfail hero. This one's a Misfail hero. And a little spoiler, the next one's also a Misfail hero. If it's a Misfail hero, don't even think about it. You can pick it up. Because if you can transcend, you can win. So that's how this deck works. Make sure you're transcending and playing your cards. It's incredibly strong. It's got a high ceiling. The only problem I see with it, as I was saying, is in the Hunted with all these aggro ninjas. If Fire becomes the best deck in format, like I hope he does, and how I suspect he will, depending on the cards they release, if they release some more 0 for 4 go-agains, he probably will be. Incredibly high ceiling. I think Zen might struggle because of his... I don't know how to put it. His mid-ranginess. He's got 6, 7, 8... this late 8 defense reactions and 11 total, like with his blocks and stuff. yeah, the mid-range is not how you'd win that matchup. You wouldn't beat a mid-range. The aggro will just beat your mid-range. So, yeah, I don't even know about mid-range in Flesh and Blood at the moment. I don't love how this is feeling in the future. Right now it's good, and you could probably win any event with Zen. He's at 800 points now, I think. Something like that. He's at a lot of points now. So, he's probably gonna Living Legend pretty early next year. I give him like a few months, and then we could see Enigma go as well in like 6 months. We could be left with one misfail hero at the halfway through next year, but at the moment, Zen is definitely on the list to play. He's quite expensive, but it's worth. He's incredibly strong. I recommend picking him up. The next one is Nu. I love Nu. I had Nu in the last video as well. This is CYB Nu. I don't believe in CYB Nu. It's just not in my what's the word? It's not in my religion. I don't like CYB Nu. I like hyper aggro Nu, and it's a thing, guys. Trust. I win like 60% of my games. No, 70% if we include Talishar. But I go like 2-in-1 at every single event with this hero. I don't run this deck list. Well, I mean, we could look at my deck list, but I think we'll go with the one that's a proven winner rather than mine. Don't know how everyone feel about that, but yeah, CYB Nu, it's defensive. It can go on the back foot. It can also go aggressive. Scarf Scar looking for scrap. These 0 or 1 cost 5 for go agains. It's a good deck. I think it just the disruption it can provide is unparalleled. Jarl can't disrupt as much. Not even the other ninjas can be. Assassins can disrupt as much because you have this little thing called transcending, and basically what that does is it gives you chi for this lovely piece of armor here. That basically lets you break the laws of Flesh and Blood and just win. I love this card. No, I don't. I hate playing this card. Playing against it. I love playing it, and this is why I play Nu over Azuri. Is this one card? Otherwise, I play Azuri because Azuri is so cool. And Azuri is not going on this list of top 5 decks, but you know who is? Ira is, because Ira top 8'd first seed Shoma Yamamura, I think that's how I pronounce his name. The Azuri King, who took Azuri to a first place finish at Pro Tour Amsterdam when no one thought that was going to be a thing. Except me. I always had belief. It's an incredibly expensive deck, which is lovely to think about. But it is super strong. It is always going to be good. It's always going to be A tier. I do wonder. Shoma Yamamura didn't get past round 1. This is not the Shoma Yamamura list, obviously, because it's not out. I would definitely be looking at that list over this one, although I'm sure they're pretty similar. It's so strong. It's just consistent damage. Kodachis and Mask of Momentum are just such a cool combo that I hate to play against so much, because it's basically saying, yeah, I'm going to give you a card for that second Kodachi almost every turn. I recommend playing this deck list because it's strong, it's consistent, it disrupts, it does powerful things. It can't go aggressive enough, though. That's my only problem with it, is like when I was playing Bolton against it, it didn't go fast enough. It has little to no race capacity, whatever. Because obviously, you have a blue. Okay, blue, pitch the blue, you've got a Bittering Thorns in Arsenal. You go Kodachi for 1, Kodachi for 2, Bittering Thorns, 100 win, 100 wins, Winds of Eternity. Wow, this is an aggro deck. Oh my gosh, is this Katsu? I don't even know, because it's so good. But, what if you do this? Sink Below, Razor Reflex, Conceal Blade, and Unmovable. Yeah, what do you do now? You have a shitload of defense reactions in this deck. Why is there Lunging Press? I don't even... Well, I'm not going to question this. This is clearly something above my... I can't even comprehend how good this card is. That's how good it is. I don't even know what he's doing with this card in his deck list. What am I looking at? No, this is actually really good. It's underrated. Probably the best card in the format. Yeah, I mean, I take this over Manifestation America any day, but I'd play Ira because it's strong, consistent, and it's a fun deck to play. Its consistency is like the biggest thing I care about in Flesh and Blood. This deck does that. I think it has a problem with ceiling. But its ceiling is not very high, but its floor is... This is what it looks like. If Enigma looks like this, right? Ira is like this. High, but like not much higher if you go ceiling. Because she has too many defense reactions. So what, like, Mask of Momentum is like half the time just friggin' Arsenal, because you're going to draw a Flick Flack every time. I promise you'll draw a Flick Flack every time. So you're not going wider, mate. And that's all I have to say about Ira. That's my 2 cents on that. And then Viserai, because Brody Spurlock top forward, so I have to put it here, because Brody Spurlock's the best. don't have Brody Spelllock's list. I've got this Battle Hardened list to show you guys. I'm pretty sure it's pretty similar, but Brody's the man, okay, guys? I mean, who cares if he took 20 minutes to do one block and then scooped the next turn, okay? He was really locked into that one block. Okay, trust. Yeah, play this deck, guys. Because if you want to be like Brody Spelllock, who doesn't want to be like Brody Spelllock, you know? He's the coolest guy in Flesh and Blood. Literally my favorite player, probably. I want to meet him really bad. I hope he's at Christchurch, because I'm going to be there, and you guys should be there, and I'll see you guys there. I'll be playing Bolton, so make sure you're not running Jarl. That would not be cool. Play this deck because arcane damage and physical damage split is incredibly strong. Play this deck because Revel in Runeblood is not fair. Why does this happen? Why do they have 9 rune chants? They swing with Amplify the Arknight. Then they play Rebel, and I think the game's over, and then they swing with a sword for 7. It's just like, how can you do 50 million damage with a 2-card hand? Like, if I was Brody Spelllock, man, I would just be like, wow, I'm so glad I get to play this deck before LLs. I can't afford to pay for this deck right now. It's too expensive. It's not even that bad, actually. It's a little bit bad. I don't want to pay for these Grasps of the Arknight. Bullshit. I'm not paying for that. I'm going to play Vexing Cool Hand only Viserai. Mono Vexing Viserai. Yeah, you should just play this deck because it is incredibly strong. The split damage is really good, and you have the most efficient 1-card hand. No, not 1-card. Most efficient 2-card hands I've ever seen in my entire life. It's absurd. Absolutely absurd. I hate it. Why can you do that? It's too strong. Too strong. Get rid of it. Go LL. At least you don't have Rosetta Thorn, okay? That's the only thing I get to say. This is just a really strong deck and you should play it. Yeah, that might be all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was a pretty laid back and relaxed one. I just wanted to talk about the best decks in the format because they're the best decks, and that means I should talk about them. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, we're growing really fast, and I'd appreciate it if we can, you know, keep that upward trajectory so we can learn to be the best players in Flesh and Blood. Probably play Viserai until he LLs. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.